All right, number 35. When a stone is trimmed by a mason and exposed to the elements, a coating of clay and other minerals called rock varnish gradually accumulates on the freshly trimmed surface. Okay, so whenever a stone is trimmed by this mason and it's exposed to elements, I guess that rock varnish, like gradually, like wherever we trimmed it down, gradually appears. Organic matter trapped beneath the varnish on stones of an Andean monument was found to be over 1,000 years old. Okay, so this like organic matter that's trapped beneath that varnish on the stone that is accumulating on the surface is thought to be over 1,000 years old. Since the organic matter must have grown on the stone shortly after it was trimmed. Okay, so we're saying that that organic matter that is found to be over 1,000 years old must have grown like shortly after it was trimmed. It follows that the monument was built long before the arrival of Europeans in the Americas in 1492. All right, so our conclusion is the monument was built long before the arrival of the Europeans in the Americas in 1492. And our reasoning for that is because our reason for that is that the um, the organic matter that was found like underneath that trap beneath that varnished stone is to be over 1,000 years old, and so clearly the monument would have to be built before 1,000 years ago, whenever we even trimmed down that mason. So they're saying like, yeah, it's 1492, and if that organic matter is 1,000 years old, then that monument had to be built beforehand. Which of the following, if true, most seriously weakens the argument? So we want to destroy that the monument was built. The monument was built long before the arrival of Europeans in the Americas in 1492. So our only support here is that that organic matter on that stone is over 1,000 years old. And my thing here is like, how do we know what came first? How do we know that they trimmed the stone after the monument was built? What happens if the monument was built before, or the monument was built after the stone was trimmed? So, like, maybe the reason that there's organic matter trapped underneath that stone is because back in the day, thousands of years ago, someone was just trimming down that stone, and that's when the organic matter got caught. So that's going to be my prediction, but let's go ahead and look into this. A rock varnish itself contains at least a little bit organic matter. I mean, cool, but we're still saying that there's monument trapped underneath it that is over 1,000 years old, and so that does nothing to say that the monument was not built 1,000 years ago. B, the reuse of ancient trim stones was common in the Andes both before and after 1492. Okay, I like this one because it's saying that like people reused trim stone. So maybe it was trimmed before that rock was used in this monument. C says the Andinian monument bears a striking resemblance to monuments found. Yeah, we don't care that this monument looks like something else. That doesn't determine when it was built. D, the earliest written reference. No, we don't care about when. We don't need to have reference to when the monument was written for us to know what time it was built. Maybe nobody wrote about it till 1778 because nobody that knew about it was able to write. E, rock varnishes forms very slowly, if at all, on trimmed stones that are stored in a dry, sheltered place. Cool, but that doesn't do anything to say that the monument was not built before the arrival of the Europeans. This is just saying that, hey, the rock varnish takes a long time to actually form. So it's not going to be E, and that's why our answer is going to be B.